Hello, John Carroll. I'm Luis Jimenez.
And I'm Chris Burrell.
And this is JCTV News.
Beyond the Headlines.
And up first, we have a story conducted by My Gentry on the best snacks for studying.
Hey guys, it's Maya. And this week I did a poll on what the best snacks for studying is. I even got a few on camera. So keep watching.
Probably chips, like original chips, Lay's, chocolate bar.
Popcorn.
Chips. Pretzels. Okay, and the results are in. The best snack is popcorn. We had an overwhelming votes of popcorn for the best snack for studying. The second one in place was chips, and then the third was pretzels. So come back next week to watch part 2 of what the best snack for studying is. Thanks, and back to you, Luis and Chris.
Thanks, Maya. And up next, we have Yorgo with the weather.
Hello, John Carroll. I'm Yorgo Saris with your weekly weather, and let's look at this week's forecast. So on Wednesday, we got a high of 65 and a low of 39 with pretty good chance of rain. The next day, we got a clear weather with a high of 53 and a low of freezing. It should go down to freezing at nighttime. Next day, Friday, should be just about the same. Saturday as well. Sunday, you'll see a little bit of clouds, not bad, just about the same. Monday, it's going to be a little warmer at nighttime, only 3 degrees. And then Tuesday, it will warm up, thankfully, high 61 and a low of 38. Now, if you're going on the March for Life, here's the Washington weather. So when we get there, well, really, we'll just be leaving on Thursday, so we won't see the Thursday weather much. Friday, though, it will be cold when we are marching with a high of only 45 and a low of 29. Saturday, about the same, high of 42 and a low of 28. And then departing on Sunday, which should be 41 during the day and 27 at night, but we won't see that weather at night. So now let's look at the forecast for Birmingham. And as you can see, by Tuesday night, it should be all gone. And so it should be clear the rest of the week. Back to you, Louise and Chris.
Thanks, Yorgo, for the weather report. Up next, we have Joe King with sports.
Thanks, Louise. Last week, our boys and girls basketball team played against Altamont and Hueytown. Here's a couple highlights from that game. This week, make sure to come out and support us as we play Holy Family for our senior night this Friday. That's it. Back to you, Louise.
Thanks, Joe King. And up next, we have our school president, Noah Smith.
No, actually, Noah's really busy in a meeting right now. So
okay.
We're going to send it off to President Hall.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris and Luis. Hi, I'm Allie Hall, Senior Class President, filling in for Noah Smith this week. Tomorrow, John Carroll sends buses to Washington, D.C. for the March for Life. Prayers for those students. Friday is senior night against Holy Family. Come out and support your Cavs as the girls tip off at 6 and boys tip off at 7. Girls and boys soccer officially started this week, so good luck to both teams as they search for state titles this year. Congratulations to Students for Justice and Peace in the Middle East as they raised over $500 this past weekend at their full moon fundraiser. Back to you, Luis and Chris.
Thanks, Allie. And did you know that there are more than 200,000 cases of autism recorded in the U.S. per year? Let's take a look at an awareness video about that.
3 years ago, we started this event and really had no idea the impact that Shooting to Change was going to have in Alabama. And Shooting to Change is more than just an event for basketball. It's more than an event for autism. It's about changing a culture in a state that really includes all kids with disabilities.
So a couple years ago, our son Parker was diagnosed with autism, and we wasn't really sure what to do about that. But one thing we really wanted to do was raise autism awareness and acceptance across the state of Alabama. So me being a head boys basketball coach, we decided to use that as a platform to spread autism awareness and promote the acceptance through athletics across our great state.
In Alabama, over 50,000 families are affected by the current legislation for insurance. Right now it currently doesn't cover ABA, and without it, many families can't get the help and the treatment that they need for their children. And why wouldn't we advocate for those who can't speak for themselves? By passing new insurance reform, it would completely change the lives of all of those with family members or children on the spectrum.
This Project Outreach has created an environment in Spanish Fort and in the community where they surround these kids. They love them, they take care of them, and they really have friendships with them. And as a parent of a child with special needs, this really helps. I mean, when you send your child to school, you worry about them. You worry about them being bullied. You worry about them eating lunch alone. You worry about a lot of things. And Project Outreach really takes care of those worries, a lot of those worries.
It's not weird to see the typical students hanging out with the students with disabilities. We're friends, we go hang out, we go to the movies, we spend the night, we text. They're showing others that there really isn't a difference. We're all the same, and we're here to make this big change in Alabama.
You know, at Spanish Fort and all the other Project Outreach schools, we're seeing this culture of community building between students with disabilities and their non-disabled peers.
My name is Thad Akins, and I'm the head girls basketball coach here at Spanish Fort High School. I have 2 kids with disabilities. You know, it's definitely tough having your child diagnosed with autism, and then you know, after that, having my daughter diagnosed. You know, it was really hard. I was actually reluctant to get back into coaching because I wanted to bring my kids around, and you know, after games and stuff. Well, here it's just, I mean, it's endless. I mean, kids just grab them and they talk to them and they participate with them, and beyond that, it's the whole student body has been you know, kind of infected with that spirit of helping and nurturing those kids.
What we're trying to do the week of January 23rd through the 28th is again, create change. Create change for Alabama, create change for the 50,000 families affected by autism, create change in all of the schools.
A lot of people ask us, why don't you just leave the state of Alabama and go to one of the other 45 states that covers autism and has resources? And I say the #1 reason is Project Outreach and our community. They have surrounded us with love and support. And Project Outreach, they just create an environment and a community that loves these children. They care for them, they truly build friendships, and you don't find that everywhere. Whenever Parker was diagnosed with autism, my husband and I we didn't know how we were going to live or go on this journey of autism or on the spectrum. And now, after 3 years of being diagnosed, I don't know how we would live without him being on the spectrum, because it's really changed our lives. And he has taught us patience, he has taught us love that we would have never known, and we are so blessed to be his parents.
Parker's gone from being nonverbal a few years ago when we started this event. Now Parker's talking, and such a blessing in our lives.
I'm Parker Bauer. I Shooting to Change.
Good job, buddy.
Welcome back, and up next we have the verse of the week coming to you from the Holy Bible.
And it comes from Psalm 102, verse 2 through 3. And it reads, Lord, hear my prayer. Let me cry, come to you. Do not hide your face from me now that I am in distress. Turn your ear to me. When I call, answer me quickly.
That's pretty inspiring for times of,
Stress.
conflict and sorrow, you know?
I agree.
We sometimes feel like God might be, leaving us, but in reality it's because he's carrying us. You know that little parable about when the dude was like walking on the sand, and then he only saw he saw 4 footprints, but then he only started seeing 2, and he's like, God, why are you leaving me? But then it turns out like the 2 footprints were like just from God, because God was carrying the dude.
Okay.
Remember that? So I think that kind of relates to this.
God never leaves us. He's always with us.
Yeah. Anyways, up next we have a movie review by William Beasley on Hidden Figures.
Thanks, guys. And this week, I will be reviewing the movie Hidden Figures, which is the movie about the 3 women, Katherine Johnson, Mary Jackson, and Dorothy Vaughan, and how they not only were the catalyst in NASA taking huge strides in being more progressive and desegregating itself, but also played huge roles in the success of John Glenn's orbit around the Earth in order for the US to catch up to the Soviet Union in the space race. The acting in this movie is very well done and is just all around great, as you really do feel that the characters are there and having these problems, and it really does draw you into the story and make you want to see these characters succeed at their goals. An interesting point that this movie brings up is how much skill in the field of mathematics was needed in order for these people to successfully calculate the launch, orbit, and return of John Glenn's shuttle in order to have a full success, as there were not calculators, or at least not high advanced calculators or supercomputers at the time that they did this, and they had to rely mostly on the math by hand and the mind. This movie is very well directed and also very well written, as it seems to flow and feel just natural and makes you enjoy the movie a lot more, and it makes it a true piece of art. I give Hidden Figures a 9.1 out of 10. Back to you, Louis and Chris.
Thanks, Will. And here's Morgan with What's Trending.
Hey, it's Morgan. Welcome back to my segment called What's Trending. Harambe the gorilla that was killed back in 2016 in order to save a little boy's life, grandmother, just passed away. She was euthanized on January 18th for a health complication. Also trending is holographic makeup. Here's a video to explain more about it. It looks great, but it's not for me. Back to you, Louise and Chris.
Thanks, Morgan. It's actually quite sad that Harambe's grandmother died now. The world will never be the same, but we must move on. Up next, we have Samane, and she's going to be interviewing Ms. Vance on the importance of not slacking off on our last semester of high school.
Thanks, Luis and Chris. I'm here with Ms. Vance discussing the importance of not slacking off second semester senior year.
It's a great question. I have a lot of seniors who feel like they're pretty much done with school, but I'm still checking because it's my goal to see that everybody walks across that stage. I haven't lost anybody in recent years, and I don't plan to this year. So there's a lot of things coming up. A lot of teachers are planning papers and research projects that are going to really impact some grades. I think the most important reason for seniors not to slack off is the option of being able to exempt exams, because the more points you get on the quarter, the better the chance that you don't have to really focus so much on those exams. By the time May comes and it's exam week, seniors are not going to want to be having to cram in a subject on that exam. The other thing is that colleges will look. In May, they're going to ask for that final transcript, and they're going to look to make sure that you kept up your end of the bargain, especially if you're a candidate for scholarships. The other thing is I have some seniors who actually could potentially get an honor court if they put the gas on and did well this last semester. So I'll be contacting them to say, you know, you're really close to this honor court. You might want to consider just pumping it up a little bit. So May is full of a lot of fun stuff that people really, really want to be able to participate in. So my best advice would be to do as well as you can January, February, March, until senioritis kicks in big time, and you can enjoy everything that's happening, like shirt signing and that sort of thing. So it's real important to focus right now on getting as many points on that grade as you can.
All right, thank you, Miss Vance.
It is my pleasure.
All right, back to you, Luis and Chris.
Thank you, Simone.
And Ms. Vance is pretty right about this. We can't just slack off during our last semester of high school.
I don't know about you, but I have senioritis.
I don't know. It's trying to get to me, and it's getting kind of difficult. But I'm trying to still care.
Yeah, I love John Carroll, but kind of ready.
I just want to go up in the class rank. Honestly, it's just pride. Honestly, I don't even care about school. Anyways, this has been JCTV News Beyond the Headlines.
Signing out.